The trombone.
Deep, brassy, and bold.
One of the most recognizable sounds in a marching band. But where did it come from, and why had it become such a defining voice in HBCU music culture? The trombone traces its roots all the way back to the 15th century, where it was first known as the sackbut. Yeah, not the coolest name, well, kind of. But this instrument quickly made its way from Renaissance choirs to orchestras and military bands. It stood out for one reason: the slide. Unlike valves, the slide gave players the ability to glide in between notes with a kind of vocal expressive sound that other brass instruments could not match. Fast forward to the 20th century, trombones were a staple in jazz bands, big bands, and eventually college marching bands. And when black colleges and universities began forming their own bands, the trombone's soulful swagger fit right in. In HBCU marching bands, the trombone isn't just always background, it's frontline artillery. From those deep chords that shake the stands to those train horn blitzes that scream confidence and attitude, trombones are foundational. And speaking of trains, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with those train chords that trombone sections love to play. With variations of that powerful slide effect. That's a trombone trademark. It mimics the sound of old locomotive horns, and it's used to build intensity and hype, especially during trombone battles. Now let's spotlight a few HBCU trombone sections that I like. There's no ranking system here. I'm just talking about the ones that I like and the ones I found videos on from this past season. Tennessee State University trombone section.
So beautiful. I'm literally so emotional. Wow, y'all. Y'all did that.
TSU's trombones are smooth, warm, and polished. They blend so well into the band, sometimes you don't even notice how solid they are. Until that moment happens when you realize that their fullness has been carrying a section of music the entire time. Their fullness in phrasing is top tier. I always thought so. But for someone who has marched in that section back in the day, I'll admit, I miss the old school aggression that we used to bring. These days, they lean into that more symphonic sound. It sounds great, but a little more edge and aggression wouldn't hurt. Florida A&M University's trombone section. The Marching 100's trombone section is essential to their identity. I just did a video on their entire section, so for more detail, go check that out. Their ability to go from a smooth symphonic blend to a cranked up marching band style all in the same song is really impressive. But similar to what I said about TSU, I do wish sometimes they can cut loose just a little bit more. The finesse is there, I just miss that raw power they used to bring. Jackson State University's trombone section. Go check out the video I just did on this section. JSU's trombone section sounds full, rich, and confident. When they go all out, they go all out. But here's the critique. When the energy is high, sometimes the articulation and dexterity gets a bit sloppy for a few players. Not all the players, just a few, but it's enough to hear it. But that said, they still hold their place as one of the strongest sounding trombone sections out there today. Alabama State University's trombone section. Now this section is flexible. One minute they're cool and laid back in the background, and the next they're punching you in the face with sheer power. They've got that duality down: balance, aggression, and style. Nice job. One thing I would say is that not everything needs to be taken up. There are plenty of times when we hear that power from that trombone section, then all of a sudden, for no reason, people take stuff up. It adds nothing to the music, and when you think about it, you're just starting to clash with the mellophones and trumpets. There's a reason the trombone music is written where it is. Not everything needs to be taken up.
Are you ready to bone? Get your Let's Bone t-shirt today at the Stephen Holiday merch store. Let the world know that you are ready to bone with the best by wearing your Let's Bone t-shirt every day. Do you see how good these AI-generated models look in these fake pictures? You will look even better because you are real. Tap the link to get your real Let's Bone t-shirt at the Stephen Holiday merch store right now.
Alabama A&M's trombone section. A&M's trombone section has a full, beautiful sound when the whole band plays together. The phrasing is very clean, and I know that they are doing exactly what the director wants, because sometimes it's nice and choppy, other times it's nice and legato, so I can tell they are very good at adapting to whatever phrasing that the director wants them to play. Their fanfare, I like the way they sound, but in the high register, as far as pitch accuracy, they tend to fall out of tune, and sometimes the tone suffers just a bit. The attitude is there. It's always like they want all the smoke, but sometimes I would recommend you all back off just a bit to keep that beautiful blend that you all have
when the entire band plays.
Simply put, when you all play fanfares, it feels like you guys get out of character just a bit. That's just my honest opinion. Southern University's trombone section. They sounded extra powerful this past season. That full brass tone they bring sets the tone for any piece of music that they play. So I already know what kind of song it's going to be based on how the trombones sound as soon as they come in. Whether it's loud, soft, smooth, choppy, they match the band's energy very well depending on which song they are playing. Now here's the twist. For me, sometimes the articulation is way off, and I can't tell if it's supposed to be like that, but it seems like they never really fall apart. Not all the time though, but sometimes it just sounds very sloppy coming from the articulation from that section. Either way, the balance is there, the power is there, and they sound very good when the entire band plays together. Just on those solis sometimes, I think the articulation can get out of hand just a bit. Not all the time, sometimes. Mississippi Valley State University's trombone section. This trombone section has that old school soul, heavy, gritty, and proud. They may not be the flashiest, but they definitely play with a lot of passion. Their parts are often very simple, and let's be real, in a crowd, they always tend to surprise everyone. It's like you never expect what kind of energy they're going to bring, except you know it's always going to be something entertaining. North Carolina A&T University's trombone section. This section is very clean and balanced. Their sound fits that band and that style perfectly. They don't overpower, but they definitely hold their own. I appreciate that they post content like their trombone choir performances. It really shows off their range as musicians past marching band. Now I said with the band they do blend well, but I'll be honest, I rarely hear them stand out in a memorable way. It's solid, just maybe a little too subtle sometimes. But hey, that's the way the band director wants the entire band to sound, so kudos for that. At the end of the day, the trombone brings something to HBCU bands that no other instrument can. Boldness, character, and a sound that connects history with hype. From parades to halftime shows to fifth quarters, trombones are definitely the backbone of any HBCU band. Every school section does have its strengths. Some are aggressive, some are refined, some are wild, and some are classic, but they all contribute to the culture. Now, these were just some examples of the trombone sections that I liked from the past season, and I was also able to find videos of these sections pretty easily. What other sections do you think I should cover? And let me know in the comments below. Send me a link to my Instagram. Which trombone section was your favorite out of the ones we just heard today? And do you agree with all the critiques I said?
Or do you not?
Let me know. Comment down below. Peace.